And happy end of April, folks. What is it? Hopefully you had a good Easter. For those out there celebrating Passover, I believe that's still going. Happy Passover as well. I'm throwing a curveball here, starting with the insides of a bar rather than the outsides. This is a recent acquisition of mine. Beautiful day. I'm trying to clear out the baffles of some other acquisitions I have, just determining what needs to be done and what works and what doesn't. What we've got here is an AeroDynic, currently no domes. It's a Model 25 and it's an EAH. What makes the 25 EAH uncommon is that there weren't a lot of these made. Even though you figure there would have been, pardon the shaky cam. This was only run for a brief period of time before Federal got away from the typical end lamps and the alleys found on the Model 24s. And as we come across, done a little bit of work to it. I'm just giving this a view here so people can see the condition. I don't plan on keeping this bar, so if I list this bar at some point, I'm going to refer people to this so they can see what's going on. I don't think this power cable is going to be staying with this bar either. It's not the right cable. I have a use for it, so that's probably going to come off. If I put a power cable here on here or not, I will update later and see what's going on. But coming in and taking a look at it, you've got your 537 can flasher, your wiring harness. They've already kind of screwed around with some of the colors, but that's no big deal. Coming around the back of the bar, the motor. Notice that the alley mirrors here are only in the back, not in the front. And if you look at the side shot here, they should be there, and they're not. And they're not there probably because the department that had this broke them off. So just an FYI, completionists, they would need to put 2 alley mirrors in the front for this to go and work. Outside of that, my tinkering with this bar and some blown bulbs, the alley bulbs, for example, are both blown. I marked them accordingly with a little B on there for my future reference if I come back here and start playing. I had a couple blown H1 bulbs, but I've gone ahead and taken care of that. So that's not an issue anymore. The only other things I see worth noting are the center, missing the center mirrors, if you want to call it the alley mirrors. And also, if you look real close here, we're missing a screw, and there's the typical damage on the plastic on there on the bottom, which can be glued, but that's just me showing what's here. Other than that, the bar is in very good shape, especially for a bar with a build date which looks like 88. I'd have to take a look at the motor and actually determine what the date on the motor is, if I can even read it. But I just wanted to give this a once-over on the inside so people can see what's going on. Then I'm going to go ahead and throw the domes on it and get a shot with the domes on it. The domes are actually right there. They're not in too bad shape. Do need to be re-siliconed together. I may do some of that while I've got them off, just so that way they don't go popping anywhere. But all in all, it's actually pretty good shape. This would be a good entry-level aero, or actually not even entry-level aero. This would be a good, like, even medium or advanced level aero if somebody doesn't want to put a lot of time or effort trying to restore one. Only needs some very minor things to it. But with that said, just giving a sweep on the back of the bar here. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. I'm going to throw the domes back on it. I don't know if I can get the date on camera. Give me a second. I'm going to go down some more. Pardon my finger. I see an 88 in there. I don't know if you can see that. I do see an 88. Unfortunately, the lighting and pardon the shaky cam is acting up. Looks like September of 88. So this bar was made September of 88, and the SAE date also reads 88. So 88, that's when this bar was manufactured. Let's go ahead and get the domes back on here and get some pictures and get it from running. And with a little bit of magic, the domes are back on. Looks to be mostly all red with clear for the end lamps. Taking a look at this here, like I said before with these domes, the end caps need to be re-siliconed. There are also a couple loose segments. Again, this just involves some re-siliconing, and the domes could use some TLC. The name tag is there. I've re-added the screws. It was missing screws. I actually have a bunch of those, so I re-added them. Coming across the back, a good shot of the back of the bar. Again, it has all its bulbs with a couple bulbs that are out, and I know for a fact that the flasher is bad. So that's a 537. There's your other name tag with the proper screws. In the grand scheme of things, this bar is in great shape. I know a lot of people will sit there and go, what do you mean? Well, it doesn't need much. It works. The H1 bulbs have been reinstalled, pardon the shaky cam. Basically got a couple bad bulbs and a bad flasher. Again, I don't know really if I'm going to keep that power cable with this bar, just because I have a use for it. But I think this bar in short order will be going up for sale at some point, so they can refer to this. So the good is the bar's in great shape. The bad is re-silicone the end caps, which is actually not technically a bad thing if you actually want to put clear end caps on this, and put the correct alley inserts for the alley lights. That's great. The other good on this is the fact that everything works. I've repaired the H1 bulbs. Those are working. The flasher's bad, and you've got 2 known bad bulbs for the alleys. And it's, oh, and I forgot, we are missing the front mirrors for the alley bulbs, if you want to do that. The rear mirrors are there, the front are not. All you need to do is just find the mirrors. So with that said, let me go ahead and pause this, and I'll fire it up. And there she is. She's turning and burning. I like that staggered 2 center and then the staggered out. That's actually pretty cool. That's actually very neat. You can see a little bit of whatever that is on the inside. That's the inside of the dome there on the centerpiece, but she fires and all the H1 bulbs are working. I had 3 that were out and I replaced them, so they're back in. Really, in all honesty, I can give a 360 on this, but we know what the back of the bar looks like. It just has mirrors, so maybe it's a good idea not to have the mirrors on this bar. But that's it in a nutshell. I'm gonna wrap it at this, and we'll take it for what it's worth, as Amazon vans are apparently all over the place here on this lovely Sunday, April afternoon. But that's it for me, folks. Hopefully your holidays went well. Hopefully this is a good start to a good summer, and hopefully everybody's staying safe out there.